So this is our UTV Guide Polaris General 1000 project. This particular machine was purchased as a fixer-upper. She's missing a few parts. It did start out as a General Deluxe, so if you know the General line, you'll know there's a bumper missing here. There's no winch in there. This front nose plastic's gone. There's no windshield, no roof, no sound bar. Even the wheels and tires are different. One of the main injuries to this vehicle that we discovered as we were looking it over to purchase it was that the front end had taken a pretty good smashing by something solid. So we'll need to replace all of the front suspension on this side. That's what we had determined. So what we did was we went through superatv.com's website and we were able to find all of the components that we needed to get this vehicle back on the trail, plus a few extras. And these aftermarket components not only give us a little bit better machine once everything is installed, but it'll be a lot more durable Polaris General. So I want to open the boxes up and give you guys a chance to see the parts as I see them. We'll look at the quality of the steel. Everything that we have is manufactured in the United States, which was important to us. I visited the superatv.com location in Indiana and was able to see the fabrication of these A-arms and parts, components and things that we're using, and it's pretty freaking incredible. So I'm gonna go get everything and we will open it and you'll see it, and then we'll try to get it all installed and go do some riding in a later video. So here we go. So here we are. We got a pile of boxes to go through. I guess I probably could bring the camera a little bit closer. Got my trusty razor knife with me, and we'll dig right in. All right, so I got my trusty razor knife here. Let me get this first dude open. See what's going on. See what's going on up in here. Let me close this dude back up. Packing, blister pack of parts, some Zerk fittings, some brake line clamps, washers, steering stop bushings, even a couple of zip ties. So they definitely prepare their parts so you can absolutely anybody could tell where things go and what they're used for. It's not just a big bag of parts. So anyway, let's get this first dude open here. Dang, that's pretty freaking sharp. Heavy duty. I have a front A-arm here. Looks like. Oh yeah. That dude is heavy. Built out of some real steel. Definitely some good looking stuff. Got superatv.com's logo on there. Yeah, that is freaking super thick steel. You can definitely tell the difference in this dude here and what you would normally have as a factory part. So it looks like we've got another arm. That might actually be the lower. Crack this guy open and see what's going on. Oh yeah. I see something already that's pretty cool. So this lower arm is adjustable. Yeah, these really cool cast joints on here. Trying to get it. Yeah. Try to get it open without scratching that fucking awesome orange. Look at that dude. Close this guy up. Well, that's freaking massive there. Let's see, that would be driver's side, passenger side, no idea. But the heft of these things is just absolutely incredible. The weight, you can tell they're built with some serious steel, seriously thick steel. So they've got our bushing zip tied in already for you. Got a little hole for a grease zerk there, which was included in our blister pack. So yeah, pretty freaking heavy duty stuff, man. And I think that is, yeah, this is the other side. So let's stack this stuff back in here. Try to give it some padding, and we'll go to the next box. See what we got going on. I wish you guys could feel how heavy that is. It is a hefty dude. All right. A little bit of separation in those. Shove this guy back in. And I think we have, let's go ahead and do this guy here. I think we'd ordered some ball joints as well. So we have, they have an insanely tough, let's go from this side, replacement ball joints. Oh yeah. Get a superatv.com decal with every package, so you can represent. Look at these dudes. That is nice. That's one tough freaking ball joint right there. And you know, one thing that I saw while I was there is they have a machine where they can test the strength of these things individually, to get data that tells you that they take every ball joint on the market and test them against theirs. And if you go by the numbers on the machine, their ball joint is the toughest one. So I couldn't explain to you how deep the testing is at their facility there in Indiana. It's pretty incredible, but you know, you're getting a quality part, you know, and that's the most important thing. Nice. Tuck that dude back away. Let's see here. We'll use this as a table, and let me see what we got going on over here. This guy, pretty big and long. It doesn't say what it is, but we shall find out. Figure out what side of the box. Oh, it opens from this end. Let's do that. See what we got going on here. It's almost like they got the world's toughest tape there as well. This stuff is serious. Oh, here we go. We'll get it figured out here in a minute. There we go. Let's see what we got going on. I believe this is components. These are components for their windshield. Let's see here. Yeah, I believe that's what this is for. that's what it's for, because we have the shocks here. Handy dandy shock stuff. Look at that. Dude, that's a serious shock. It's got a incredible little ball joint on the end. See if I can get that on video here. I don't know if you can see that little ball joint. Shock for the windshield. Pretty cool stuff. So this is all hardware that goes with their windshield system, which has to be one of the more intricate windshield setups that I've used in a while. We've used a lot of them, you know. We've definitely had our share of different windshields. We, you know, testing these machines and, oh yeah, look at that. Testing these machines all over. Now this is a lower bracket, I do believe, for opening and closing our windshield. So we'll have to get that put together first. Let's see what else we can find in here. I don't know how interesting that stuff is, other than the fact that it's pretty, somebody took a lot of time to design that. Every single bit of this stuff is designed at the Madison, Indiana facility, which brings up another cool thing. You know, when we were there, they have engineers that do nothing but, when I say engineers, I'm talking about 8 or 10 people who do nothing but design new products, come up with new ideas. They're constantly trying to grow the superatv.com brand name, and what's good about that for all of us is there are always new and cool stuff coming. You know, I incidentally tossed this dude out. This is with our ball joint, so I'm gonna make sure we put that back in the box. So they're always trying to come up with something new, which is great, because, you know, with the machines that are coming and going, we want to make sure that you know, everybody wants cool stuff for their ATV and side-by-side. Let's see here. These are, this has to be my axles. There's nothing else in the world that is that heavy for a UTV. Let's see here. Cut around this one. I sliced down the middle of the packing slip for the ball joints, and the instructions were in the packing slip, so looks like we skipped them there, so that'll be not to worry about. Oh yeah, Rhino axles. Now if you're looking for an aftermarket axle, these dudes are pretty freaking tough, and one cool thing about it is that superatv.com stands behind all their stuff, man, and I've heard about these axles since the days of championship mud racing, and let's just crack one of these boxes open and see what we got in here. Oh yeah. That is a heavy duty dude right there. Pretty excited to get these in. One thing that I didn't mention in the beginning was that whatever hit the right side of this machine just completely wasted the entire front suspension, and it actually broke the front axle. So while we have this guy out, I'm going to walk around to the back of the machine here and actually have that broke section of axle. We'll check that out. So here's my broke section of axle. It didn't break the axle. It definitely pulled both ends out of the cups, but it sure bent it. bent it pretty good. Yeah, you look at the thickness of this axle, which I'm not 100% sure you can tell that, how much you can see on camera, but when you look at the thickness, it's almost a third bigger. The Rhino axle is just a monster. You look at the size of this inner cup, the splines, from everything from the boot, heavy duty boots for taking abuse, all that cool stuff, man. It's definitely an upgrade for sure, and quite honestly, it's less expensive in some cases than the factory axle. So definitely a wise purchase for sure. Put that dude on the ground. So we have one box left, and I believe that's going to be the windshield. Not 100% sure how to share that with you. Let's see. Check. Yeah, this is the cutting this dude open, definitely have to be careful. I don't want to cut into my windshield at all. Damage something. Slice it. Oh wow, pretty big box. Oh yeah, that is most definitely the windshield. I'm gonna leave that back fixed up. That way I can store this stuff until we get a chance to install it here in the next day or so. Oh yeah. So we're weather stripping to go around the windshield. Our destructions. Oh yeah, this is where it shows how you get into all the bracketry that we're showing earlier. All these hooks and ladders that go underneath the dash, so you have a whole lot of detailed instructions, which are great because everybody needs those, especially me. Sometimes I try to do things without instructions. It doesn't exactly work out that great. Yeah, let's pull this dude up. Oh yeah. So another thing that people don't understand is, or may not know about SuperATV.com, yet another myth that I dispelled while being there. You know, I'd always heard a lot of their stuff's made overseas and things. Every bit of this stuff is cut in that plant in Madison, Indiana. I actually watched the machines. I've got to see all of their stock and their employees, hundreds of them, 235 employees, running these things into the machines and stacking them and shipping them, and you know, they make their doors there. All of this Lexan products they do right there in Madison, Indiana. So we're pretty stoked about this project, and man, I tell you, I can't wait to get all this stuff installed, get it all fixed up and put on our Polaris General. And we'll document that a little bit better through story and photos and stuff. So if you have any questions about how all this stuff's installed, keep up with utvguide.net, and we're going to put some details on there on you know, what it took to get it all put together, and then we're going to take this thing to the trail and have a good time there as well. So we hope you'll join us. Stay tuned.